You want to know what happens to a girl's body during puberty? Well, again, it starts in your brain with that pea-sized pituitary gland that sends out hormones all over your body and tells your body to grow into the adult version of a woman, which simply means your body is becoming reproductively mature, which means you are able to get pregnant and have a baby. This happens at different times for different people, but typically a girl will start puberty between the ages of 8 and 12 or 8 and 13, but that's not a rule. Some girls start earlier, some girls start later. It really is a wide window, and girls grow at different rates within that time. So it's important not to compare yourself to other people because every body is unique. Everybody comes from a different gene pool that grows at a different rate. So it's important to remember your growth time is your growth time. So when you go through puberty, during this time, you're going to notice some changes happening in your body. Some are really obvious, like the physical changes. You're going to grow taller. And again, this is at different rates. Some girls grow suddenly, really fast, and get really tall. Some girls grow gradually. And according to whatever your gene pool is like, some people are shorter and some people are taller. So it doesn't necessarily have much to do with puberty, how tall you get, but you're going to grow during this time. And while you see boys getting wider shoulders and more muscles up top, girls are going to start to get wider hips. And the reason for this is your body's preparing itself so that if you had a child someday, you could push them through your hips because they're going to come out of your body through your vagina. So wider hips would definitely help that process. So your hips are going to get a little wider, and you're going to notice that you have a curvier look. You're not just straight on the sides anymore. You're also going to notice that you're going to grow breasts, or you probably call them boobs. And when your breasts grow or your boobs grow, they might get a little sore, they might swell a little bit, and then they'll start to grow. And boobs are as unique as people, so they grow at different times too. Sometimes one boob grows before the other boob, sometimes they end up different sizes. Some girls grow huge breasts, some have small breasts. Like, everybody's boobs are unique, so that's just unique to your gene pool too. And if you're curious what your breasts might look like and you're able to look at people in your family, that might give you some idea, but that's still not a strong indicator of what your body's going to do. But it might give you some ideas. Just so you know, and I've had this question before, when your breasts grow, they do not have milk in them. You will not have milk in your boobs till after you have a baby and you're ready to nurse them. And that's not even guaranteed for everybody. So don't worry, you're not just gonna be walking around with milk boobs. You're just growing. So as you grow breasts, depending on where you live or what culture you're a part of, it's typical for girls to want to start wearing a bra, and it might be a good time to talk to your parents about changing how you dress or just finding things that are more comfortable for your body that's growing breasts in this way. Especially if you play sports and you're really active, you might want to explore getting a bra like earlier rather than later. Another way that you're going to grow and change is your skin is going to get more oily, so your hair might get a little oilier. You might develop acne on your face, which is pimples, and this all comes back to hygiene too. Your body's just producing a lot more oil because you're growing faster, and you might need to shower more, or you're also going to notice that you get more sweaty when you're active, and that sweat can be really stinky, and you might hear this word called body odor or BO, and this is a good time to talk to your parents about deodorant and wearing that every day. So those are some pretty big changes. The ones that a lot of girls are surprised about are the ones involving hair. You're going to grow hair in your armpits and in your pubic area. And when I say the word pubic area, I'm talking about your private parts, like everything between your legs. And the actual name for all of that is not vagina. People always say it's your vagina. It's your vulva. Everything between your legs is called your vulva, and you're going to grow hair in that whole area. And that's called your pubic hair. So don't be surprised when that happens. And in some cultures, women shave their armpits and some they don't. In some families, that's an expectation or not. That's up to you to talk to your family about. And that's a good thing to talk about. Like, how do you want to take care of your body hair? How do you want to shower or wear deodorant? Like, how do you want to change your hygiene as you go through puberty? Another big physical change that happens when you go through puberty is one that I'm going to get into a lot of detail in the next video. But your body's going to start menstruating. And when you menstruate, this is when you start your period. And people always call menstruation your period, but your period's really just a small part of a cycle. And it's a month-long cycle that your body's going to get into, where every month your body's preparing to release an egg into your uterus so that you could possibly get pregnant. Because remember, the whole point of puberty is that you're growing into an adult version of yourself, which can be sexually mature. And that doesn't mean you need to get pregnant or you should get pregnant. It just means your body is making sure that you could and that you're healthy and you're growing. So when you start your menstrual cycle, you're going to start releasing an egg each month. And if that egg is not fertilized, then your body needs to get rid of that egg. And that's when you have your period. And that's when you shed the lining of your uterus and it will come out of your vagina over maybe a week's time. And this is different for everybody too. Some people's periods are 2 days, some people's are 10 days. It's just really different for everyone. But when you have your period, you bleed for about a week. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about how to take care of that, why that is happening, how that is happening, and you can explore that even more deeply. But don't be surprised if you notice some blood in your underwear or when you wake up in the morning and there's some in your bed. Your parents know this is going to happen to you. All adults have gone through this. All women have started their period at some point that have healthy lifestyles, and that's been a part of their journey. You can talk to them about it, and they are probably prepared for this to happen and know how they'll want to respond to you. So don't be afraid to talk to your family about it. And as you go through puberty, you're not just going to have big physical shifts, you're also going to have emotional shifts that you're going to note. And a lot of times girls who are in their menstrual cycle and might be starting their period will notice that they have really heightened emotions. And a lot of times those emotions are more sad or frustrated or angry. And those emotions feel really, really big. And it's usually right before you start your period or kind of during the time of the month where you are bleeding. And this is called premenstrual syndrome. This is called PMS. And this is a totally normal thing. You are not going crazy. You are feeling what you feel. But if you are able to step back and recognize that this could be a really hormonal feeling that you're having, you can remind yourself that it's not as upsetting as it feels, and you can tell your family that you're feeling pretty hormonal, and maybe they could give you some space or some support, and I'm sure they'd be really grateful to know that that's what you're going through and that's how you're feeling, and everyone can support each other better, and also your parents can remember what that was like. So while you're talking to your parents, you might notice that your relationship with them is changing. Maybe you want to spend more time with them as an adult. Maybe you think they're holding you back somehow. Whatever it is, that this is a normal shift too. You start to feel a little different about your parents. You'll feel a little different about your siblings, and your friendships might even change. You might outgrow certain friendships. But a big change in your relationships is going to look more like attraction. You're going to start noticing people that you find attractive in like a romantic way, like a I want to date you kind of way. And that's okay too. That's a normal part of puberty because you have hormones telling you that you're interested in finding a mate. That's a part of becoming a sexually mature adult. So as you go through puberty and as you start noticing these changes in your body, don't be afraid. This is totally normal. These are changes that are going to help you become the woman you're going to be. And guys, if you're watching this, there are always going to be women in your life, and it's really, really good to know what's happening in their body so you can be a supportive and kind person in their lives. We'll talk more about this in the menstruation video, but I have a lot of tips on how you can be supportive friends and family during a girl's period. But for the moment, girls, think about asking your parents or your mom or a woman in your life when she started her period and what that was like, or what she wished someone would have told her about that, or maybe a time someone was really, really kind to someone who started their period unexpectedly. It would be really cool to hear stories like that, and a great time to just open up communication with where you're at and where your parent remembers about this experience.